Ladies and gentlemen, ours is a common mission to look without fear or despair at the challenges ahead in this crucial decade, and to believe that we humans have the ingenuity to make the seemingly impossible.
Buckingham Palace just dropped a bombshell that nobody expected. Prince William is at the center of devastating news that's sending shockwaves across the entire world. What they just revealed will leave you speechless. The royal family tried to keep this quiet, but the truth has finally come out, and it's worse than anyone imagined.
So, based on Jeff Key's idea to get a man on the moon all those years ago, and, all the technology and all the advancements that came out of trying to get a man on the moon, like solar panels, CAT scanners, all that sort of stuff, we're trying to galvanize and push.
The news came without warning. There had been no hints in the days leading up to the announcement, no speculation in the press, and no preparation for what was about to be revealed. When the statement finally appeared through official royal channels, it was brief, but carried a weight that immediately caught the attention of millions. The palace acknowledged that Prince William is facing what they described as an incredibly difficult and deeply personal situation. They asked the public to respect the privacy of the family during this time and to show understanding as they navigate whatever challenge lies ahead. Those few carefully chosen sentences were enough to trigger an avalanche of reactions across every form of media. Within seconds of the statement being released, news websites were updating their homepages. Television networks interrupted their regular programming to break the news. Anchors sat at their desks with expressions of genuine concern, speaking carefully as they tried to convey the seriousness of the situation without having many details to share. The tone was somber, reflective, and at times almost hesitant, as if no one quite knew how to put into words what the announcement truly meant. On social media platforms, the response was immediate and overwhelming. Hashtags related to Prince William began trending globally within minutes. People from all walks of life shared their thoughts, their worries, and their messages of support. Words like heartbreaking, devastating, and unbelievable appeared again and again as users tried to process what they had just learned. In living rooms and kitchens across the country, families gathered around their televisions and phones, reading the statement over and over, searching for clues about what might have happened. Conversations that had been about everyday matters suddenly shifted entirely to the royal family. People recalled moments from Prince William's life, remembering how he has handled himself through some of the most challenging periods any public figure could face. Many thought back to the death of Queen Elizabeth, when William stood beside his father and fulfilled his duties with quiet dignity. Others remembered how he has continued to champion causes he cares about, from mental health awareness to environmental conservation, all while raising 3 children and supporting his wife Catherine through her own health challenges. The idea that someone who has seemed so steady, so reliable, could now be going through something painful enough to warrant an official palace statement has left many people feeling deeply unsettled. There is a sense of helplessness that comes with watching someone you have followed for years face an unknown difficulty, especially when that person is part of an institution that traditionally keeps its struggles behind closed doors. The British public has long had a complicated relationship with the royal family, but in moments like these, there is often a genuine outpouring of sympathy that crosses political lines and personal opinions about the monarchy itself. Outside Buckingham Palace, people began gathering almost as soon as the news broke. Some came alone, others arrived in small groups. They stood quietly behind the black iron gates, looking up at the building that has become synonymous with both British history and the private lives of the family who lives within its walls. There was no drama in the scene, no loud reactions or demands for information. Instead, there was a collective silence, broken only by the occasional whisper or the sound of someone placing flowers against the railings. Bouquets began to pile up, accompanied by handwritten notes expressing sympathy, love, and hope. These were not grand gestures meant to attract attention. They were small, personal acts from individuals who felt moved to do something, anything, to show their support for a man they have never met, but have watched grow up in the public eye. Inside the palace itself, sources have suggested that the atmosphere is heavy and subdued. Staff members, many of whom have worked within the royal household for years, are reportedly moving through their duties with an air of solemnity. There have been instructions to maintain discretion, to handle press inquiries with care, and to protect the privacy of the family as much as possible. Those close to Prince William have indicated that he is focusing on his family and his own well-being during this period. Friends and advisors have requested space, and aides have described the current situation as one of the most challenging periods the royal family has faced in recent memory. The timing of this announcement has added another layer of complexity to an already difficult situation. The royal family had recently seemed to be entering a period of relative calm. Public engagements were proceeding as planned, and there had been a sense that after months of demanding schedules and high-profile events, things were settling into a more manageable rhythm. This statement has shattered that illusion entirely. Royal correspondents and journalists who have covered the family for decades have admitted that they did not see this coming. There had been no whispers, no background briefings, nothing that would have prepared them for news of this magnitude. The public reaction has been marked by a genuine sense of concern, rather than mere curiosity. People are not just interested in the story because it involves the royal family. They are worried about Prince William as a person. Over the years, he has become a figure that many feel they know, even though their knowledge comes only from what they have seen in public appearances and read in the press. He has spoken openly about his own mental health struggles, about the lasting impact of losing his mother at such a young age, and about his determination to be present for his own children in ways that his royal duties sometimes make difficult. This vulnerability has made him relatable to millions, and now that he is facing another moment of personal difficulty, those same millions are responding with empathy. As the hours pass and the initial shock begins to settle, one thing has become clear. This is a moment that will be remembered as significant, not just in the history of the royal family, but in the broader story of how public figures navigate private pain in an age of constant media attention. Prince William has always represented a bridge between the traditions of the past and the demands of the future. He has carried the expectations of an entire nation on his shoulders, while trying to maintain some sense of normalcy for himself and his family. Now, as Britain watches and waits for more information, there is a collective hope that whatever he is facing, he will have the time, the space, and the support he needs to get through it. The only certainty at this moment is that the days ahead will be difficult, and the eyes of the world will remain fixed on Buckingham Palace, waiting to see what comes next. When the official statement from the royal household was released, it felt as though the entire country had stopped to take notice. The words were measured and formal, as is typical for communications from Buckingham Palace, yet there was something unmistakably emotional beneath the surface. The statement spoke of a deeply personal and difficult situation involving Prince William, and requested that the public respect the family's privacy as they dealt with whatever challenge had arisen. The language was careful, chosen with the kind of precision that royal communications are known for, but it could not hide the gravity of what was being acknowledged. Within moments of its release, the statement had spread across every major news platform, and the world began to react. Television programs across Britain were interrupted to bring viewers the breaking news. Presenters who had been discussing other topics suddenly found themselves reading from the palace statement, their voices carrying a note of genuine surprise. News websites that had been covering the usual mix of politics, sports, and entertainment quickly shifted their focus entirely to this single story. Homepages were updated with large headlines, and live blogs were started to track developments as they unfolded. Social media platforms became flooded with reactions almost instantly. People shared the news with their followers, adding their own thoughts and emotions. The consensus was clear. This was not something anyone had expected, and the surprise was quickly giving way to concern. The timing of the announcement added another dimension to the shock people were feeling. Just days earlier, there had been no indication that anything was wrong. The the royal family's schedule had been proceeding normally, with various members carrying out their usual duties and engagements. There had been no rumors circulating in the press, no hints from palace insiders, and no reason for anyone to anticipate that such a statement was coming. This made the news feel even more jarring. It was as if a door had suddenly opened to reveal something that had been carefully kept hidden. And now that it was in the open, everyone was struggling to make sense of it. Veteran royal correspondents, journalists who have spent decades covering the monarchy, admitted openly that they had not seen this coming. Some spoke on air about how unusual it was for the palace to release such a statement without any prior indication that something significant was happening. Others noted that the language used in the statement, particularly phrases like deeply personal and difficult, are not terms that appear frequently in royal communications. When they do appear, it is usually to signal something truly serious. The palace is an institution that values discretion and privacy above almost everything else. So for them to acknowledge a personal struggle in such explicit terms suggested that the situation was significant enough that silence was no longer an option. The image of Buckingham Palace itself became a focal point for the nation's attention. News cameras positioned outside the building captured footage of the iconic structure standing quietly beneath a gray London sky. The tall iron gates, the guards standing at their posts, the stone facade that has witnessed centuries of British history. All of it took on a new meaning in light of the announcement. What is normally a symbol of continuity and tradition now seemed to represent something more fragile, a reminder that even institutions as enduring as the monarchy are made up of people who experience pain and hardship just like anyone else. Inside the palace, sources suggested that the mood was somber and reflective. Staff members who work behind the scenes, many of whom have dedicated their careers to serving the royal family, were said to be moving through their duties with a heightened sense of discretion. Conversations were kept quiet, and there was an understanding that this was a time to be respectful and to avoid unnecessary speculation. The decision to release the statement had apparently followed extensive private discussions among senior members of the royal family. There had been debate about whether to say anything at all, but ultimately the choice was made to acknowledge the situation openly rather than allow rumors and misinformation to fill the void. Prince William himself had reportedly been involved in the decision to release the statement. Those close to him have said that he has always believed in being honest with the public, even when that honesty invites scrutiny or makes him vulnerable. He has spoken in the past about the importance of openness, particularly when it comes to mental health and personal struggles. This approach has earned him respect from many people who appreciate that he is willing to be candid about the challenges of his life, even though doing so goes against the traditional royal preference for keeping private matters behind closed doors. As news of the statement spread, messages of support began pouring in from around the world. Political leaders from various countries expressed their sympathy and sent their best wishes to Prince William and his family. Commonwealth nations, which have long maintained ties to the British royal family, were among the first to offer words of encouragement. Celebrities and public figures also took to social media to share their thoughts, with many praising the prince for his years of dedication to public service and expressing hope that he would be given the space he needs to deal with whatever he is facing. Ordinary people, too, felt compelled to reach out in whatever way they could. Social media feeds filled with photographs of Prince William at various stages of his life, pictures of him as a young boy walking behind his mother's coffin, images of him on his wedding day, photos of him with his children at public events. These images were accompanied by messages that ranged from heartfelt to deeply emotional. People wrote about how they had watched him grow up, how they had admired his composure through difficult times, and how they felt a sense of connection to him even though they had never met. There was a recurring theme in many of these messages, a recognition that being born into the royal family does not shield someone from the kinds of struggles that affect everyone. In cafes and pubs, on trains and buses, in offices and homes, conversations turned almost exclusively to the news about Prince William. People discussed what they had heard, what they thought might have happened, and what it all might mean for the future. Some spoke about the pressures of royal life, noting how every aspect of the family's existence is scrutinized by the media and the public. Others reflected on the personal losses that Prince William has already endured, particularly the death of his mother when he was just 15 years old. Many remarked that he had always seemed to carry that grief with a kind of quiet strength, using it as motivation to support causes related to mental health, and to be a present and loving father to his own children. There was also a sense among many people that this moment revealed something important about the nature of the monarchy in the modern era. For generations, the royal family has been expected to maintain a certain distance, to project an image of stability and continuity, regardless of what might be happening behind the scenes. But in recent years, that expectation has begun to shift. People now want authenticity, even from their public figures. They want to see that the individuals they admire are real people who face real challenges. Prince William has been at the forefront of this shift, speaking openly about issues that previous generations of royals would never have discussed publicly. This statement from the palace, painful as it was, seemed to be another step in that direction. The phrase "devastating news" appeared in countless headlines and social media posts. It captured the feeling that many people had upon hearing the announcement. There was a sense that something important had been disrupted, that the future which had seemed clear and certain now felt uncertain. Prince William has long been seen as the next great hope for the monarchy, the person who would guide it through the challenges of the 21st century. To see him facing a personal crisis of this magnitude has forced many to confront the reality that even those who seem most prepared for their roles can be knocked off course by life's unexpected difficulties. As the day wore on and more people learned of the news, the reaction remained consistent. There was shock, there was sadness, and above all, there was a desire to show support. The royal family had asked for privacy, and most people seemed willing to respect that request. But they also wanted Prince William to know that he was not alone, that the nation stood with him, and that whatever lay ahead, there would be people ready to offer their compassion and understanding. The statement from Buckingham Palace had opened a window into a private pain, and in doing so, it had reminded everyone that behind the titles and the ceremonies, there are human beings trying to navigate the same struggles that touch us all. The news about Prince William has inevitably brought back memories of other difficult moments in royal history. For those who have followed the British monarchy over the years, there is a familiar pattern emerging, one that speaks to the recurring nature of personal struggle within an institution that is often seen as untouchable. The royal family, despite all its grandeur and tradition, has never been immune to the kinds of tragedies and challenges that affect families everywhere. Looking back through the decades, it becomes clear that the burden of royal duty has often come with a heavy personal cost. And the current situation with Prince William seems to echo painful chapters from the past. Perhaps the most obvious comparison is to the life and death of Princess Diana. Her story remains one of the most significant and tragic narratives in modern royal history. Diana entered the royal family as a young woman, full of hope and expectation, only to find herself struggling with the demands of public life, the pressures of her marriage, and the relentless attention of the media. She spoke openly, particularly in later years, about her battles with mental health, about feeling isolated within the palace walls, and about the difficulty of maintaining any sense of normalcy while living under constant scrutiny. Her death in 1997 shocked the world and left her two sons, William and Harry, to grow up without their mother. For William, who was just 15 at the time, the loss was profound and formative. He has spoken in interviews about how that experience shaped his understanding of grief, vulnerability, and the importance of mental health support. The fact that William is now facing another moment of significant personal difficulty cannot help but bring those memories back to the surface. Many people have noted the parallels, observing that the prince who once walked behind his mother's coffin in one of the most watched public moments in history is now dealing with his own private pain while the world watches once again. There is a sense of cruel repetition to it, as if the very public nature of royal life ensures that personal suffering can never truly remain private. The palace may release statements asking for discretion and respect, but the reality is that millions of people feel invested in the lives of the royal family. And that investment means that moments of crisis become shared experiences, whether the family wants them to be or not. Beyond Diana, there are other examples that come to mind when considering the personal struggles that have marked the monarchy. Queen Elizabeth herself, who reigned for more than 70 years, faced numerous challenges throughout her life. She navigated family scandals, political upheavals, and personal losses, all while maintaining the public image of stability that was expected of her. Her dedication to duty was remarkable, but it also came at a cost. There were times when personal feelings had to be set aside in favor of what was deemed best for the institution. Her relationship with her sister, Princess Margaret, is one example of how royal life can complicate personal happiness. Margaret was forced to give up a relationship she deeply cared about because it was considered inappropriate for someone in her position. She spent much of her life in the shadow of her sister, dealing with her own struggles largely out of the public eye. Then there is the story of King Edward VIII, who abdicated the throne in 1936 in order to marry Wallis Simpson, an American divorcee. His decision sent shockwaves through the country and the Commonwealth, and it fundamentally altered the course of royal history. His younger brother, who became King George VI, was thrust into a role he had never expected to hold, and the weight of that responsibility took a toll on his health. George VI struggled with a stammer and dealt with significant stress throughout his reign, particularly during the Second World War. He died relatively young, leaving his daughter Elizabeth to become queen at just 25 years old. The abdication crisis remains a defining moment in royal history, a reminder that personal desires and institutional expectations do not always align, and that the choices made by members of the royal family can have consequences that ripple through generations. These historical moments are important because they provide context for what is happening now. The monarchy has always been an institution caught between tradition and the realities of human experience. It is expected to represent continuity, stability, and a connection to the past. Yet it is made up of individuals who live in the present and who face the same kinds of challenges that everyone else does. The difference, of course, is that their challenges play out on a public stage, with every decision scrutinized and every moment of vulnerability dissected by the media and the public. What makes the current situation with Prince William particularly striking is that he has been so central to efforts to modernize the royal family and to make it more relatable to ordinary people. He has championed causes related to mental health, speaking openly about his own experiences with grief and anxiety. He has worked to break down the stigma around asking for help, and he has encouraged others to be honest about their struggles. In many ways, he has tried to create a version of royal life that acknowledges the human side of the institution, one that does not require members of the family to suffer in silence for the sake of appearances. Now, however, he finds himself in a position where his own personal difficulties have become the subject of national concern, and the very openness he has advocated for is being tested in the most personal way possible. There is also a broader question about what this moment says about the future of the monarchy itself. For years, there has been debate about the relevance of the royal family in modern Britain. Some argue that it is an outdated institution that no longer serves a meaningful purpose, while others believe it provides a sense of continuity and national identity that is valuable. The way the royal family handles moments of crisis can have a significant impact on public perception. When they are seen as distant and out of touch, support for the monarchy tends to decline. But when they show vulnerability and humanity, when they acknowledge that they are not above the struggles that ordinary people face, there is often an increase in sympathy and support. Prince William has been seen as someone who could help secure the future of the monarchy by making it more accessible and more in tune with contemporary values. His willingness to speak about mental health, his dedication to his family, and his efforts to balance royal duty with personal authenticity have all contributed to a generally positive public image. The current situation, painful as it is, may ultimately reinforce that image if it demonstrates that he is someone who faces difficulties with honesty and courage rather than hiding behind the traditional walls of royal privacy. Historians and royal commentators have noted that the monarchy has survived many crises over the centuries. It has adapted to changing times, reformed itself when necessary, and endured through wars, scandals, and public criticism. But it has always been most successful when it has shown empathy and transparency, when it has allowed the public to see that behind the crowns and the ceremonies are real people dealing with real challenges. The current moment is another test of that principle. The decision to release a statement acknowledging Prince William's difficulties was a choice to be transparent rather than secretive, to trust the public with the truth rather than trying to maintain an illusion of perfection. As people across Britain and around the world reflect on this news, many are drawing on their knowledge of royal history to make sense of it. They are remembering Diana, remembering the struggles of previous generations, and recognizing that the pattern of personal sacrifice within the royal family is not new. What may be different this time is the level of understanding and support that is being offered. In previous eras, the expectation was that members of the royal family would simply carry on regardless of what they were facing personally. Today, there is a greater recognition that expecting people to suffer in silence is neither fair nor sustainable. The outpouring of sympathy for Prince William suggests that the public is willing to give him the space and support he needs, and that they value his well-being more than they value the maintenance of a perfect royal image. This shift in attitude may be one of the most significant aspects of the current situation, a sign that both the monarchy and the public are evolving in how they understand the relationship between duty and personal health. The question that now dominates conversations across Britain and beyond is simple but loaded with uncertainty. What happens next for Prince William? In the aftermath of the palace's announcement, speculation has become inevitable. For an institution built on careful planning, established protocols, and centuries of tradition, this moment feels like stepping into uncharted territory. The heir to the throne, who has long been viewed as the dependable future of the monarchy, now stands at a crossroads that could reshape not only his own life, but the entire direction of the royal family. The decisions made in the coming days and weeks will likely have lasting consequences, and everyone is watching closely to see how this unfolds. Behind the closed doors of Buckingham Palace and other royal residences, conversations are taking place that few will ever be privy to. Senior advisors, trusted aides, and members of the immediate royal family are said to be meeting regularly to discuss how best to move forward. There are practical considerations to address, such as the schedule of public engagements and official duties that had been planned for the coming months. Some reports suggest that adjustments are already being made, with other senior royals potentially taking on additional responsibilities to ensure that the work of the monarchy continues, while Prince William focuses on his personal situation. This kind of flexibility is not unprecedented. The royal family has adapted to challenging circumstances before, redistributing duties when necessary to maintain the smooth functioning of the institution. However, this situation feels different in some fundamental ways. The world is more connected than ever before, and the level of public interest in the lives of the royal family has reached heights that previous generations could not have imagined. Every decision will be analyzed, every public appearance scrutinized, and every statement dissected for hidden meanings. The palace is acutely aware of this reality, and it is likely influencing how they approach the situation. There is a delicate balance to strike between protecting Prince William's privacy and maintaining transparency with a public that feels deeply invested in his well-being. For King Charles, the current situation presents challenges that are both constitutional and deeply personal. As the reigning monarch, he has a responsibility to ensure the stability of the crown and the continuity of royal duties. But as a father, he is undoubtedly concerned about his son's welfare and wants to provide whatever support is needed. Those close to the royal household have indicated that the king has been urging patience and understanding, both within the family and in public statements. He has reportedly made it clear that while the monarchy must continue to function, it should not do so at the expense of the humanity of those who serve it. This perspective reflects a more compassionate approach to royal duty, one that acknowledges the personal costs that come with public service. The king's own experiences likely inform his response to the current crisis. He has lived through his own share of public scrutiny and personal difficulties, including the very public breakdown of his marriage to Princess Diana and the years of criticism that followed. He understands what it means to have private struggles play out in the public sphere, and he knows the toll that constant media attention can take on mental and emotional health. This understanding may make him particularly sensitive to what his son is going through, and more determined to ensure that Prince William is given the space he needs to navigate this difficult period. Inside Buckingham Palace, the atmosphere remains one of quiet anticipation. Every word released to the press is carefully considered, with teams of advisors weighing the potential impact of each statement. The palace has promised to provide further updates when appropriate, a phrase that offers reassurance while also managing expectations. It acknowledges that people want information, while also making it clear that details will only be shared when the family is ready, and when doing so, serves a meaningful purpose. This approach has led to a certain amount of frustration among those who want immediate answers, but it also reflects the palace's commitment to protecting the privacy of its members during vulnerable moments. Speculation about what might happen next has taken various forms. Some believe that Prince William may temporarily step back from public engagements, taking time away from the spotlight to focus on his family and his own well-being. Others think that he may continue with a reduced schedule, supported closely by those around him, and appearing at only the most essential events. There is also discussion about whether this moment might lead to broader changes in how the royal family operates, perhaps prompting a re-evaluation of the expectations placed on its members and the support systems available to them. Royal historians and commentators have weighed in with their perspectives, noting that this could become a defining chapter for the modern monarchy. The institution has survived wars, political upheavals, scandals, and personal tragedies over the centuries. It has demonstrated remarkable resilience, but that resilience has often come from a willingness to adapt when circumstances demand it. The current situation may require another period of adaptation, one that prioritizes the well-being of individuals alongside the preservation of tradition. There is a growing recognition that the monarchy cannot continue to function in the same way it did 50 or even 20 years ago. Public expectations have changed, and the royal family must change with them. Outside the palace gates, the scene continues to be one of quiet solidarity rather than spectacle. People arrive throughout the day to leave flowers, cards, and messages of support. They stand for a few moments in silence, perhaps saying a prayer or simply reflecting on what Prince William and his family might be going through. These gestures, small as they may seem, represent something significant. They show that the relationship between the royal family and the British public is not purely transactional or based solely on duty and obligation. There is genuine affection and concern, a sense that despite the vast differences in circumstance, there are shared human experiences that connect everyone. Whatever choices are made in the coming days, one thing seems certain. This moment will be remembered as important, not just in the story of Prince William's life, but in the broader narrative of the monarchy's evolution. The steps taken now will help determine how the institution is perceived by future generations, and whether it can continue to maintain relevance in a rapidly changing world. As Britain holds its breath and waits for more information, there is a collective hope that whatever lies ahead, it will be navigated with compassion, wisdom, and a recognition that even those born into extraordinary circumstances are entitled to the same dignity and support that anyone facing difficulty deserves.